beginnings. The discovery of King Tut's tomb occurred in the very same year that La Sierra University began, 1922, literally a little more than 6 weeks apart from each other. October the 3rd for La Sierra, and November the 26th for King Tut's discovery. And here we are now, 100 years later, on this Discovery Weekend, our 14th. I'm delighted to be able to welcome you to this space, welcome you to this event. I know that there will be much to celebrate. There's a 10th year anniversary in here as well, which I will mention later this evening. But I'm thrilled that we're able to come to learn, continue to seek, continue to discover, continue to grow. Enjoy.
Thank you, President Fehr, for an enthusiastic welcome to our program. I was thinking about which came first, La Sierra University in 1922 in October, or the discovery of Tut's tomb. So, you know, here we are, beginnings. Thank you very much for reminding us of that. I want to add my welcome. I'm Doug Clark, Director of the Center for Near Eastern Archaeology. I want to add my welcome to you, to all of you who are here in person, to those live streaming, and that is active now, and to those who will be on Zoom. This is our 14th annual Archaeology Weekend. This center has existed for 10 years, okay? So there may be a math issue here, but we actually did our first Archaeology Weekend before there was a center. Actually did the first 4 before there was. And that has, I think that shows something of the dedication of a group of volunteers and faculty and staff and students who've been engaged with archaeology for a long, long time here at La Sierra. So we appreciate that. We have a superb slate of participants to talk to us about the ancient Egyptian pharaohs. There is one additional component to our program, which we are going to do right now before we begin our lectures and before Larry Garrity comes and introduces our lecturers. President Fehr is going to come back. She's going to share a few slides and comments about our proposed new La Sierra University campus museum. Some updates. Thank you.
Indeed, we are excited to bring you up to speed in terms of our museum project. Much has happened since we've been together last, at this time last year. Our museum board and planning process has been well underway, and today I get to share with you the new design of our possible museum. I'm excited about it. So let's get into it. So there you go. We are looking forward to sharing this space with other collections on campus, not only our archaeology collection, of course, but our World Museum of Natural History and the Stahl Center for Social Justice, and there will also be gallery space for traveling exhibits. And so we will be able to feature, perhaps someday, King Tut's collection as well, at least a portion of it. So wouldn't that be fun? It would be very exciting to be able to do that. As I was looking today through my materials, thinking about how I would welcome you to this space, I discovered a book from a collection that my husband and I viewed way back in 1986, Expo 86, which was held in Vancouver, British Columbia. King Ramses II's tomb and collection was there, and so we enjoyed that. So it'll be wonderful to be able to have a space like that on our campus. We will also have location space for research and education for each of the collections, as well as for community education opportunities. We will also have a visitor center, at least that's planned for this space, to be able to welcome individuals to campus, a space for students here on campus to be able to rest, relax, but also learn and engage, and then be able to have other events in this space as well. We also want to take advantage of our beautiful outdoor setting. And so we will have outdoor learning spaces and amphitheater, and part of the Center for Near Eastern Archaeology collection will also have an outdoor dig space. And we're looking forward to being able to invite you and other members of the community in to actually experience what it's like to be on an archaeological dig. So, we talked to many people over the last several months, students, faculty, community members, those who are interested in each of the collections that we have, and gained their input into what they would like to see in terms of a museum design. What sorts of design principles interested them? What types of buildings were most attractive? All kinds of questions were asked by the architectural firm that we've engaged to do this work, DLR, which is an international and global company that has an office right here in Riverside. And so we've been able to interact with them on a frequent basis. And it's been a very fruitful process, as you're about to see. So just last month, October the 13th, the architects and the architectural design team from DLR came to campus and presented their designs, their overall initial designs for this project. So here is where the museum potentially will be located. As you come up the main entrance of campus, you look to your right, right across from the entrance to this particular building, its parking space. To the right is our gymnasium. In between that, the road and the gymnasium, not only is the lost sheep sculpture among the groves around that sculpture, but then beyond it is a parking lot. And it's really right in that parking lot where we envision this new building will be situated. So you can see it, let's see if I can point it out here, right in here. Here is the lost sheep sculpture right there, Jaeger Drive here. A new road will go in here with a roundabout that will allow for drop-off and accessibility parking. And then a new parking location, parking garage up in here. This is the gymnasium. And this, by the way, is the new fitness center that's being built almost as we speak. Not on Saturdays, of course, but it's already well underway. So that's the situation in terms of where we envision this space on campus. And here is the first glimpse from above of the architectural design for this space. It's really in the shape of an interesting H, if I can call it that, with one wing, one side of that H, having a beautiful sweep to it, adapted to really in many ways the shape of a river that will metaphorically and somewhat actually flow through the middle of this space. And then on the other side, again, that a bit of a curve that will point towards the entrance. Back in that last previous map of campus, I talked about the accessibility parking. If we were to come up that particular walkway, this is the view that we would see of that new building. What we really appreciate is this particular area here is the traveling exhibit space. In the evenings after dark, that will be lighted, and you'll be able to see from that space not that one, here we are, let's go again, right to the entrance of campus, Jaeger Way and Riverwalk Parkway. So as you drive up, you will also be able to see what was happening and what is featured in that traveling space. The archaeology location will be here on the first floor of the building. And over here on the left will be the World History Natural Museum space. And then in behind that, closer to campus, will be the Stahl Center for Social Justice. This is just a similar view as we walk up closer to the main entrance of the building. And this is actually on the other side of the building, facing towards campus. If we were coming down into this space from campus, this is the view that we would see. And I'd like to point a couple of features out for you here. So over here in this bottom space will be a cafe area. And then over here in the left, this is a location you will want to remember because this is the auditorium space. And we envisioned this gathering, the Discovery Weekend, being held in this space. Of course, many other events throughout the year can be held there as well, but that would be the new location for this annual gathering. And as you can see then, this is the breezeway, the walkway through that takes you down on the other side to that parking space that I pointed out for accessibility. And then over top is a walkway joining the two sides of the H. This is a view of study space and also potentially at least part of it on the other side, the cafeteria, the cafe area. And then this is the interior of the auditorium space, where if this building becomes a reality, we will meet in years in the future. From that main floor, there will be this circular walkway, or stairway, I should say, up to the second floor, which takes us up to this area, a lounge area in that walkway between the two sides of the H. And I will just point out here with the pointer, on the far side is the student lounge area. This is a more flexible gallery space. And then behind the viewer would be the traveling exhibit space. On the bottom floor, remember, as we talked about walking up the walkway, on the right would be the archaeology space. There will be exhibit spaces, something like this, interactive spaces, helping us visualize where artifacts are and what communities looked like in the ancient past. Spaces where we can interact with the exhibits, with the collection, in what we envision, what we know to be something of its original environment. Another possibility for ways in which we can interact with the archaeological discoveries and artifacts that have been collected over time. There will also be, here we have a great shot of a possibility here of research space that visitors to the facility can actually see and in some ways interact with. Watch the researchers busy at work, examining portions of the collection, be able to see parts of the collection that are not out in the actual exhibit space, but still see them stored through glass in that working research space. And then, of course, the exhibits themselves have possibilities for interaction for young people to actually try their hand at putting pottery pieces together, at learning how these items help us understand the past, the present, and point the way forward into the future. So, just a glimpse of this amazing, spectacular building that really would be an iconic location, not only for our campus, but indeed for this community and beyond. We envision visitors coming not only nationally, but internationally to interact with and enjoy this beautiful space. It will rise from the location that we have identified on campus when we have all the funds available. And so we invite each of you to join us in making this project a reality. Just think, if in a few years' time, each of us who are here today are able to celebrate the ways in which La Sierra University has contributed, is contributing, and will continue to contribute to discovery, to knowledge, to helping us understand worlds long gone, our current worlds, and the worlds that we will envision into the future. Thank you. Thank you for your support. We look forward to continuing to work with you as we enjoy moving towards this reality.